Hello, beautiful. Today we are speaking about something really juicy. I know you are going to love it. We are talking about how to bring back your libido. So if you have been feeling a little low in your turn on lately, in your libido, it may be time to look at your own connection with your body and with your self-love. Because when you don't feel worthy or connected intimately to your sense of self, it's really hard to feel connected to your body and your sense of pleasure. This is why giving yourself permission to practice self-love, it really plays an important role in reclaiming your libido. And for those who don't know me, my name is Jessica Angelari, and I just wanted to say, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new, welcome to my channel, where we are speaking about all things related to sexuality, sensuality, the feminine, embodiment, and love. So today I'm speaking about how to bring back your libido. This is something that I get asked quite often by you beautiful women. I get emails about this, messages about this. I'm feeling really low on my libido, or I am wondering how to get my libido back because I know it is there. I know I am sensual, but I feel like it is hiding. And these are some of the things that are brought to my attention. So I wanted to bring this juicy topic up. So the first thing I wanted to say is there is nothing wrong with you. We think that there is something wrong with us if we can't get turned on fast, or if we are lacking the desire to be intimate physically with ourselves or with our beloved. I have done some other videos about this, one in particular about how women get turned on. So make sure you check that out. I'll make sure to drop that link so you can watch that in your own time. The thing is, we create these stories about ourselves, or we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be and to feel a certain way. For most women, I know, and especially if you are here, we desire to feel really good in the body. We desire to tap into pleasure and do so in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming or difficult. And the first thing to remember here is that you are so worthy of love just for being you. That's it. You really are. You are holy and you are whole. And because of that, you are so deserving of feeling alive in the body and activated in the body. This is your birthright, to feel sensual in your body. But no one is going to give you that permission slip to feel turned on. We have to really do this for ourselves. Your queen self deserves this. You are deserving of love and simply feeling pleasure that life has to offer you just for being alive. Just remember that always, especially when we get caught up in the responsibilities in our day-to-day life that takes us away, it pulls us away from our own pleasures and from our own body. Remember that. Remember that you are deserving of love and pleasure simply for being alive. And I know that this is easier said than done. And that's where self-love rituals and practices come into this. Often underestimated, loving yourself in so many different ways is the foundation of your confidence, your relationships, your turn-ons, your pleasure, and your libido. Self-love is how we know our bodies, our breasts, our yoni, and it is how we feel into this deep source of love for ourselves. It happens when we come into this embodiment and activation and aliveness of the body. It happens when we pay attention to our body's wisdom and trusting her as our greatest guide in our life. If your sexual desire has been lacking lately, it may be time to really reflect on your level of self-love and how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your naked body, how you self-soothe. So how you are regulating your nervous system, how you are holding yourself in all moments, not striving for the perfect moment, not striving to feel this heightened levels of pleasure all the time, but knowing how to hold ourselves in all moments, including the mundane ones. And I'm not one for quick fixes or skipping the process. I feel like this is such an old way of doing things and a very over masculinized way of moving through and connecting with our own pleasures. I'm all about really embodying the feminine way and doing things the feminine way. And that means embracing sensuality and connection this feminine way, in this way that our sexual radiance, our pleasure and libido becomes sustainable. It becomes long lasting. And it doesn't have to be hard, but you have to be committed to this new feminine way, this new feminine journey of really allowing yourself to open up to pleasure. So the first thing is to know is that our self-love and our libido are connected. So we have to become aware of the link between these two principles, love and libido. And I know that self-love is such a term that's really loosely floating around. Do you think that as well? But when I say self-love, I don't mean just dancing around or having a bubble bath or only saying words of affirmation. These are all beautiful things, yes. But self-love is about being in this beautiful reverence, honor, and respect for you and your boundaries and your body, knowing how beautiful you really are. It's nurturing your feelings, being your own mother to the little girl inside of you, soothing the nervous system, being able to expand into this queen energy who doesn't collapse when she feels sad or when she feels doubt or when she feels fear. This self-love that I speak about is about loving your yoni, having a relationship with your pussy in more ways than you can imagine. It's reaching into your heart and finding the space within you that is always this forever giving unconditional love, this source of love that is always there for you. Your self-love all comes down to the connection with yourself and how you perceive yourself, how you view yourself, how you feel about yourself. Of course, this doesn't mean you're always going to be high vibe and thinking amazing things about yourself. Of course not. But you also know how to return back to that holy essence that you are, which is whole, which is love. So yes, we have to come to know and love our naked body that we have been given. It is having the most intimate relationship with your yoni. As I said, it's acknowledging your special source, your signature, your voice in this world. All of that matters and is related to self-love. When you don't feel valuable or connected to yourself, it's hard to know yourself intimately and deeply, and it's hard to feel connected to your body and your needs and your desires and your sensuality and your sense of pleasure and how you are feeling in that moment and how that changes moment to moment. It can feel difficult to fully embrace your body and experience the fullness of pleasure, which is absolutely infinite. Now, you might be wondering, what's the first step to getting your libido back? To get your libido back on track, we have to start doing a self-love check-in. So create some space in your day to intentionally be with you. You have to carve out that space, especially if our days are really jam-packed with different responsibilities. Maybe you have children, you have a busy work lifestyle. I get it, but we have to take that time out for ourselves. Take a moment to create a lovely, ritualistic, sensual space where you can just be with yourself. Light some candles, smell some incense or essential oil, grab your journal. You might like to put some music on, some really lovely feminine music, and ask yourself these questions. On a scale of 1 to 10, where is my self-love currently and in general? And be really honest with yourself. And the more you do this, the more you just see the subtle shifts taking place. You can ask yourself, what practices boost this feeling of love and connection for myself? When I think of a pleasurable moment, what does that look like for me? What does that feel like for me? Also, another question, what habits drain my energy and they take me further away from my true nature? That's an important one. Sometimes we get into these daily habits. We don't even realize we're doing it, and we don't realize that it's actually overwhelming us and it's taking our radiance away. It's sucking our beautiful honey nectar out of our life, out of our body. And then, of course, you're too tired to even think about being intimate with another. Another question to ask yourself really honestly is, do I allow myself to receive pleasure? Whether that means pleasure in terms of just doing something nice for yourself, connecting with your body, or does that mean, am I allowing my partner to make me feel beautiful? Am I allowing him to kiss me, hug me? Or am I pushing it away because I have so many things to do? Like, get really honest about this. And these are some of the questions that I actually ask in my one-to-one sessions with women in Feminine Reconnect. When you do a self-reflection such as this, it starts to give you clarity in your life as to where you may not be honoring your body, where you may not be really loving yourself, opening, receiving, where you may be pushing against where you may be rushing through things. So you can start to see where you're not allowing yourself to feel good, or to allow your partner to make you feel good. So often our mind has other plans for us, so it is up to us to make the space and take the time to invite in pleasure. We have to be doing this as a daily practice. And this is why I have my offerings like Feminine Remembrance, because we practice this. And I'm giving you the beautiful healing modalities and feminine tools to do this, like a breast massage, like a yoni massage, like beautiful sacred touch, touching your body. Boosting your self-love takes effort and devotion because we haven't been shown this way, and we're not in a world which gives us the stage to do this. But there are really small practical steps that you can take to help you along the way. So a way to help you boost your libido and can be connected to this frequency of love is through sensual, conscious movement practices, not any kind of dance, like dance that really allows your hips to move and to open. I've also done a beautiful hip opening sensual movement practice as well. So make sure you check that out. I know you will love that. Another way to really start activating your libido and reclaim your libido is to touch yourself, hold yourself, get used to this connection with yourself. Start building that trust with yourself, building that intimacy, and get in touch with your body in this way. Another way is to get in touch with your creativity. That means it could mean for you singing, painting, dancing, whatever that is for you, journaling. Another way is to, of course, be in sensual spaces held by a beautiful coach or facilitator that you love and that you trust to help guide you in this process in a really gentle way. And if you would like to continue being held in these spaces, really do get on the waiting list for Feminine Remembrance. Come home to yourself. It is such a powerful, transformative way to start activating your pleasure and your aliveness and start connecting with your sexuality in a sacred way. And we do that in a really beautiful, lovely, magical, mystical group container where you are held not just by me, but by the other sisters in there also. Now, another thing I love, and I've already mentioned this, is the importance of connecting with your yoni. And this happens when you start to really look at her, touch her in a sacred way. This is not about masturbation. This is an offering to your yoni. And this happens in such sacredness. And we do this, yes, to feel good, to self-pleasure, but it's also to help you release those energetic blocks that we tend to store in the womb and in the yoni as women. And then we can, when we're releasing, we can then allow space for more of this juice and this life force to move through us in healthy ways. And we deserve this as women. We deserve to feel good. We deserve to have our yoni, our pussy turned on. I mean, she was given to us for a reason. And one of those reasons is to feel delicious pleasure. We are so lucky to have her. Now, the last thing I wanted to mention was, and it's so important, be your own source of pleasure. So often we make excuses as to why we can't enjoy ourselves. For a lot of us, we may not even have the tools and the resources to know what pleasure feels like in the body without shame seeping through. We may automatically think pleasure is just this thing that we do on a holiday or this thing that we do in the bedroom, and that's it. And I do find that we women make up excuses as to why we can't make space for ourselves to really enjoy pleasure. Yes, we women do hold a lot of shame around this. So as soon as we start to open our bodies and feel safe to receive pleasure, we start to feel safe to receive other things in our life like beauty and love and grace. And we have more grace for ourselves. We have more compassion for ourselves. So these self-pleasure practices can be done in such a gentle, non-invasive way, and at the same time be really powerful to your turn on. And this is why as well, practicing self-pleasure on yourself, like using touch, sacred touch in really conscious, intimate ways, is one of the best ways to be your own resource of love and goodness. If you can't do this for yourself, if you can't explore your body intimately and curiously, then how can we expect our loved ones to know what it is that turns us on? How can we expect them to love on us the way that we truly deserve if we haven't done that for ourselves? So when you're feeling disconnected from yourself, it does show up in sex. It shows up in your voice, in your willingness to let go, into receiving, into surrendering. It shows up in your ability to orgasm in really wholesome ways. And we can't be leaving all of this up to our partner. So when you're contracted and you're in your head all the time, it's really hard to allow ourselves to really fully enjoy sex, to enjoy sexual experiences, to enjoy connection and love from another. So it takes practice and devotion, and it doesn't have to be hard or scary. This is why I'm here. I'm here to hold you in these beautiful spaces that I offer as well. And the most important thing to know here is that you are your own source of love. Always remember that. How would someone who desires love or desires to feel love, how would she desire to be held and spoken to and to be touched and to be looked at? This is you. You are so deserving of love because you are the love. And that means that your turn on is not lost. Your libido is not lost. We just have to ignite the fire within. And it doesn't happen in the mind with all these strategies from 1 to 10. It happens in you surrendering into your body, feeling safe to move down from the mind and into the womb space, and touching your breast, touching your body, down into your pussy, really just owning this power of yours. So then when you are being intentional with your self-love practices, with your pleasure practices, you also meet with any doubts that are there, any shame that are there, that will always be there, but you offer it some new, fresh energy through your touch or through your movement. And then here is where we start to let go of the stories that are playing out in our mind, that there's something wrong with us in this moment. We open up and we relax. And in this relaxation, we start to practice feeling turned on. So take your time, really focus on connecting with your body. By intentionally practicing self-love, you can make such a huge difference in your overall well-being, including your libido. Remember, you are worthy of love in all forms, including pleasure from yourself. That is a beautiful act of love. Let me know how you feel after receiving this episode, this transmission today. Let me know in the comments how you are feeling, what landed with you, what are you really ready to reclaim, what feeling in your body. I can't wait to hear from you. And I will see you again very soon. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. Put that notification bell on. That is so important. So you stay updated with all my videos, my episodes that I so love coming on here to share with you. And make sure to like this video if you loved it. My name is Jessica Angeleri. Thank you so much, gorgeous. I will see you again soon. Mwah. Bye.